You don't notice feedback disappearing until you start guessing. At first it feels minor. A meeting ends without commentary. A project gets no response. An interview concludes, and then nothing. No criticism, no correction, no clarity, just silence. And silence is harder to interpret than criticism. Criticism gives you direction. Silence gives you ambiguity. That ambiguity is what unsettles people. Because most professionals aren't chasing praise. They're chasing calibration. They want to know, did that work? Should I adjust? Am I aligned? Am I drifting? Feedback is orientation. When silence replaces feedback, orientation disappears. And in transitional periods, especially in the age of AI, silence is becoming more common. Not always because something went wrong, but because systems are under pressure. AI is accelerating productivity. It's compressing expertise. It's shifting leverage. It's exposing inefficiencies in real time. And when performance shifts quickly, hierarchy feels it. This is where something subtle happens. Here's the part no one says out loud. High performance doesn't just improve output, it shifts comparison. When someone becomes dramatically more efficient, especially with new tools, it doesn't just make them valuable, it changes status dynamics. And status dynamics influence communication. Most leaders are not malicious, they are human. And humans preserve position when they feel it shifting. If acknowledging your performance highlights their insecurity, feedback becomes complicated. Not because they dislike you, because recognition legitimizes comparison, and comparison destabilizes hierarchy. In secure systems, excellence amplifies communication. In insecure systems, excellence narrows it. Feedback becomes selective, delayed, or absent. Silence becomes safer than clarity, but silence carries consequences. When feedback disappears, people don't immediately rebel. They self-protect. They lower risk. They reduce initiative. They stop experimenting. Not because they lack ambition, because they lack orientation. AI intensifies this. When technology improves output faster than cultural adaptation, leadership often lags emotionally behind operational change. They may not fully understand the tools. They may feel exposed by the speed. They may worry about relevance. And under pressure, communication tightens. Restriction increases. Transparency narrows. Feedback slows. The system still functions, but something shifts. Meetings become quieter. Initiative softens. Ideas stay unspoken. Not because talent vanished, because safety thinned. Feedback is not validation. It is adjustment. Without adjustment, improvement stalls. Without clarity, confidence erodes. And when confidence erodes, engagement follows. Here's the deeper pattern. Silence doesn't always signal failure. Sometimes it signals overload. Sometimes it signals defensive leadership. Sometimes it signals preservation instinct. When systems feel unstable, communication becomes cautious. Caution reduces signal. Reduced signal increases ambiguity. Ambiguity increases anxiety, and anxiety spreads faster than clarity. That's how silence becomes cultural. People begin guessing what leadership wants instead of knowing. Guessing consumes energy. Energy drains. Momentum slows. Innovation tightens. The tragedy is this. Most high performers don't want applause. They want alignment. They want to improve. They want to contribute effectively. But when silence replaces feedback, improvement becomes speculative. Speculation breeds hesitation. Hesitation spreads, and the system begins to feel brittle. Not broken, brittle. You can't measure this immediately. Metrics may look stable. Output may remain strong, but internally, confidence thins. Organizations don't lose talent only because of compensation. They lose it because orientation disappears. Because silence becomes the norm. And in the age of AI, where speed is accelerating and roles are evolving, feedback matters more, not less. Because adaptation requires signal. When signal weakens, people drift. Not dramatically, quietly. Silence is not always hostility. It's often preservation. But preservation without clarity erodes trust. And trust is the foundation that allows systems to evolve without fracturing. When silence replaces feedback, it doesn't feel explosive. It feels confusing. And confusion is the beginning of disengagement. Not because people don't care, because they no longer know how to adjust. In transitional eras, communication determines stability, not control, not technology, not authority, communication. Because when feedback flows, systems adapt. When silence spreads, systems stiffen. And stiff systems crack under pressure.